All right, test, test, test. Oh, there it is. Yeah, the meter wasn't on, so I'm not sure if I was broadcasting there. You have to understand, all of you, your little scam world doesn't matter to God. And it's, a lot of times, the state that I'm within doesn't receive the plagues till I leave. But I think God's going to start to push into Kansas and plague it because Satan protects it at the highest level to try to create an illusion. No doubt what they are engaged in is torture. There's no doubt there was no need to torture me any step of the way. There's no doubt it's left me bent and broken. There's no doubt that looks like somebody's trying to hack me. Not hack my computer, but the signal. I mean, they all think it's funny. They torture people all day long. There are no crimes in my past that need to be discovered. There's crimes in their past that need to be discovered. That's the reality. They're running scam after scam after scam, while real criminals are living the life of Riley. Well, what they all figured out, like real estate brokers, figured out that real estate brokers can make a lot of money off of criminals, but honest people don't have that much money, and thus began the fall. And if you treat the criminal like they're the honored man and honored woman, and treat the honored man and honored woman as though the criminal, you could actually even get more money. So yeah, and this is a major setup. What's just happened, and again, it unfolded over the last 3 years. I finally woke up. I'm like, oh my god, I'm all cramped up. I haven't got my massage. I haven't got to the doctor, pain management doctor. Tried to use some steroid. They know what they're doing because the idea that they're blocking me from committing a crime is a lie. They're actually trying to push me to crime. So what they would normally use to block you from crime, they block you from normal life. And what they would normally use to push you to a healthy and safe pursuit, they push you to unhealthy and unsafe pursuits. And if you don't go, you get tortured worse, and then your body starts to deteriorate, your health deteriorates. And this isolation, they isolated me. Don't let them tell you that I isolated myself. That they have little buzzwords and statements for everything that they want to explain. All fabrications, all demonic statements, all devils. Doesn't matter if they go to church, doesn't matter if they save 15 children. They are the system that causes the children to need to be saved. I was fine with being blackballed from government. I said, well, that's it. I guess I got to go all that time in there, but I got my retirement. But when they started doing that in religion, trying to set me up in religion and all that, and had already done that, and I didn't even know it. I was shocked. So I'm still stuck here in COVID recovery, but all this stuff's mounting up that I need to get done. So I'm hoping it goes soon. Another issue just cropped up, and again, it's their curses that over time, and Satan thinks Satan's funny. All you do is let me live a peaceful life, a peaceful, quiet life. Meet a wife, go to a church, and that was it. But again, they use stories like, "Oh, he raped his children." That's how they begin it. He raped his children, but he had connections, and they let him go. That's the kind of shit they say. Oh, he's done so much, but he's connected, and they let him go all the time. When it's the reverse. So again, I'm going to let you know something. I just want to let people know that if you're looking for a air purifier, your best deal is probably to get the Blue Air. If you can afford like $250, buy their Blue Air 211 IMAX. I think is what it's called, and they stand behind it. Mine just lasted 11 months, died. I think it was the hackers. I yelled at them for, oh, what do you mean? Every time I tried to do it, something in the process would fail. Every time I tried to warranty it. But as soon as I yelled at them and said, look, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this like 3 times, and now the mailbox is full. So they may have tried to do a denial of service on the on my warranty claim. So they flooded the mailbox so I couldn't contact the person back so that they can go forward with the warranty claim. So I just went right to the chat thing, and that person said that they had it under control and they would handle it. Agrees, Larry. So and they stood behind it, and they already mailed it out, and I'm just waiting on it. And the thing with it, it has a sensor that shows you several different size particulate matter, not just the one sensor. And it's on an app. You can control it from your app. So it's really I can't remember the size. I think it's 600 square foot or something around that, which is not bad for 250. And it does 001, so it filters out COVID also theoretically. But yeah, they really got me once again, and they had been getting me the whole time. That's how they get you. Uh, they're crooks, man. They're crooks from one end to the other. They got to stay in law enforcement because they're a crook. And they organize the world so that you need them to survive, but you really don't. I mean, this is kind of shit they say. Oh, he had sex with his kids. I'm living in Naples and find out that they told everybody I had sex with my children, but because I was connected to law enforcement, I got away with it. I mean, it's a fantasy of these people. They have fantasies, and then they try to force that fantasy into your life. Now, remember, they're having sex with each other. So what you're looking at, you think is a big professional clique, right? No, it's a sex clique. It's a sex club. They're the ones having sex. So they're not going to do anything to that woman over there because she had sex with 5 of the other guys and maybe 3 of the other women. They're not going to do anything to her for what she's doing. She paid her dues. She had sex with everybody. When I was in the office, I didn't know what was going on. This one woman, she was a deputy, but she was like an administrative employee, and that's where she got her start in the headquarters. And then they made her a deputy. Probably had sex at headquarters, so they made her a deputy. That's how it works, man. For people that aren't really worth a shit and are actually criminals. But she's in the office telling my boss what to do as a nobody. Now I know she's hanging out with judges that have cancer. Matahari. She's one of them. So one of the people that actually told me some real information. I didn't know what he was getting at when he told me. But I'm not just not. I'm so lost. I lived a normal life. They were pushing me into their world. But he said when he went to pick her up one day, she came to the door in her underwear and said, "You want to come in and wait?" In her underwear. He's a married man. He said, "No, no, no, thank you." So essentially, she was setting him up for that next fall to be the next guy that she controlled. Have sex with her, and that's it. And she tells you what to do. That's what's going on out there. These people in these PI units and all, they run around as a sex cult, trying to sexualize everybody else worse than they are. That includes cops, includes spies. The whole time I'm in Naples, I'm trying to think of what's going on wrong. Why are things changing? If I find out they spread a rumor that I had sex with my kids and got away with it. That includes the sheriff's department spreading that rumor. Welcome to Naples, right? Again, there is an afterlife, all of you. As much as you all wish I were in that already, there is an afterlife, all of you. You can't get out of what you've done to me. I do matter, probably more so than other people, but that's okay. That's not my mind. That's God's mind, or God's mind. You can't get out of it. You can't say that you didn't know, because the evil that you're using is beyond the evil that was used in the original condemnation in the scriptures and the original salvation. I mean, you're using witchcraft that you're calling. What are you calling? You calling it God? All of you? I mean, these aren't cops, man, anymore. It's just disgusting. Yeah, you do your job every once in a while. Why? Because you have to do your job, or it doesn't look good to commit the crimes all the time, right? She's a liar. She's been part of it her whole life. She's a piece of shit. She's a crook. She's a piece of shit. She had sex with her bosses, so they gave her free reign across the world. It's how it always goes. Nothing different, nothing less, nothing more. Although it does increase at times. Not a single one of them is worth the position that they hold. That's why they're there. Every last one of them has fake wellness while they torture other people into fake sickness. So there's definitely a downturn today somewhere. Again, you're all attacking us, and then God's going to respond. So the Palisades is just a response from God. That's all it is. I mean, I'm not here from the what. I'm not going to say it's the fags or the MAGAs. I'm not here from the what is that borough church? Waynesboro, Phillsboro, Hills, whatever it is. I'm not here from that church, but it's a response from God. Y'all want to torture us? God will torture the whole entire planet. It's just amping up. Believe me, that's just a warning shot off your starboard bow. You owe me billions of dollars. The number of cases that could be generated off of what you did to me is multi millions each, and the number's probably in the hundreds. So find some money and get it to my life. This is not blackmail. This is not extortion. This is reality. You know what you did to me. You know what you did to other people around me not to be with me. There's wiretaps of my own brother admitting to it of what happened. 100%. My mother. 100%. Thank you. Overthrow the rule of criminals and never stop moving forward. Just jam them up. Jam them up as hard as you can. Pick a day, pull them all over, and have at it. Start moving on it and never turn around. Send them so far to hell that they're not even going to know their name. So obviously, you all did what you wanted and put me to sleep so I couldn't figure out what to do in my life any longer. You broke in here numerous times. You broke in my other places numerous times. You know you're devils. You know you're criminals. You know you're working for criminal enterprise. And yes, somebody did put peptic acid or whatever it is in my coffee to make me think it was in the coffee within the store. It was either my creamer or my coffee maker. So, when I was in Oklahoma. They did all of this in the presence of the Almighty God. See, that's the key to a lot of this. Enoch walked with God. I walk with God. I thought it was funny. The whole thing, how God explained it to me. I thought it was neat. I wasn't bragging. I never bragged. I just went around doing my healing stuff and trying to live my life. But every time I turned around, every one of the people were part of the setup and were role players playing that game for the criminal enterprise. So I could never get anywhere. And then you'd have to start over again. So they put you in this little bubble and torture you for the rest of your life and steal everything you come up with and say it's theirs. It's not only truth and conservative news organizations, it's not only that. In fact, I never would have said anything about anything if you just wouldn't have done what you all were doing and do. I'd have helped you and just kept going because I'd have had my own life. Right. I'm in so much pain I can't even lay in bed. I got COVID and I can't lay in bed because I'm in so much pain. They are knew I had physical disabilities the entire freaking time. Don't listen to them. I had physical disabilities while I was in the Marshal Service. I told them I have to go to the gym, I have to exercise, or I don't, I'm not well because my disability flares up. If I speak to somebody, I'm supposedly trying to have sex with them. If they speak with somebody to have sex with them, they're actually, doing government work. I mean, that's really what it is. That's the way it's been. That's the way it is. It's not really funny, but you got to laugh at it or you cry or scream at it or cry or whatever. You people are disgusting. Destroyed my family. They try to say, well, Lawrence, we know Lawrence. Lawrence doesn't take responsibility for his own actions. Okay, Lawrence. It's bullshit. It's like a buzzword. It like blinds you. Oh, okay. Is that what it is? He's not taking responsibility for his own actions while you torture him, while you block his life, while you steal his ideas and make money on it, while you tell everybody that he raped his own children. I'd be in prison if I raped my own children. You look at what they do to me for being honest. Can you imagine if I actually committed a crime? Wake up! Quit trying to act ignorant. It's when did you see them protect me? 100%. People like me are paid $1 million just for breathing. 100%. Now, again, there's not many people as big as me, but they have some capability. So because they're corrupt, they go to the next state and they make the next state corrupt. They bring them in. But what they didn't tell you is you're going to hell, all of you. You're going to real hell, not some game that you play at your church or mosque. Remember, I told you those Hoogie and Sikhs are the ones you need to be looking at, not me. But yet you use that for how many years to say that they were my victim? Then you find out in 2021 it was a sex cult and worse. And you still don't change, do you? You still don't change. I agree. I told you in Santa Fe, these people are running some sort of neighborhood watch thing where they're supposedly hunting the pedophile, but they're the pedophile. So it turns out you find one of their cells and they murder some young girl that the man was actually a pedophile because if you go back a few years, the young ladies that are with him were under 18 and he was over 18, probably about 21 or something like that, 22. 100%. But they're not the only ones. Again, these are just the ones you find. 100%. Meanwhile, spend every church I try to get into, they block. Then I start waking up and I figure out I was sexualized in a church in the 90s. That's part of the scam. Like everywhere you go, a woman's trying to have sex with you. And what they're trying to do is for you to hit on the woman in church, like a married woman, so they can put you out and call you a scoundrel. But I mean, there's a price for that. Everywhere you go, somebody trying to have sex with you. I just hope that right shoulder eventually fixes. What's happening is my muscles are tightening and loosening, tightening and loosening, tightening and loosening. So nothing can actually adjust in right. Right. So I have to get the muscles to calm down, get some massage. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I gotta get for this COVID. And then I've been sick for so long, I gotta clean up this apartment. I've never let it get this messy before. It's a lot of work. And in this pain, it's very difficult. Couldn't let a disabled man build a fireplace cabinet for his tow rod. So he'd get it done in a few months. Just leave the wood be, he goes in, buys it, and it's done. Right. Couldn't let that happen, could you? No, they all need to go to prison. They need to be out of the public's eye. They can't have any connection with the public. They're the worst flim flam pieces of shit that have ever existed, including those ones that I worked with. I mean, let's destroy his life for the rest of his life. What are you, sickos? He doesn't deserve his retirement. How do I do not deserve my retirement? How does that work? Because I raped my kids? I mean, you want another bullshit story? I'm lucky to have survived. You killed people with what you used against me. Jonathan Luna's dead because you used it against him. Bruce Schultz is dead because you used it against him at the FBI in the 90s. Bob Levinson disappeared because you used it against him and you put his mind to sleep. Jonathan Nichols killed himself because you used it against him in Oklahoma. Jonathan Nichols and I are almost two opposite people, kind of. That's the funny part. Now, I was conservative once because I believed in capitalism. I believed it was free enterprise. I didn't know it wasn't free enterprise. I mean, yeah, I was in my 30s. I still didn't know. I didn't probably figure it out till probably, about 40, I guess. Because there's no real free enterprise. There's a bunch of clicks, man. Bunch of clicks. It's a lockout system. These people need to be destroyed. But again, if you all want to worship them on the planet, that's fine. God will destroy all of you together in hell. Say the game, all of you. This isn't just church. It isn't some sort of silly religion where everybody has a social program going on. And that's all it is to them. You can't get out of it. With what you did to me, you can't get out of it. I mean, if Jesus tells you you have to feed people, if Jesus tells you you have to clothe people, if Jesus tells you you have to visit people in prison, what makes you think you can do that to me and get off the hook? Well, because if you don't do those things that I just spoke about, you go to hell. Thanks, sir. Now, again, there's a certain level of wherewithal. Can you get to something? Or can you not get to something? Yeah. Like Jesus, I think it was Jesus' spirit voice that spoke up. Just based upon what I'm speaking right now, I will be saved. The efforts I make to communicate this in the face of being cursed, hated, beaten, lied about, that alone would get me home. I think it was God. God and a couple angels. I think God wouldn't. God wouldn't wait any longer. Once I go, He wants to shake my hand. He wouldn't. He wouldn't want me to have to go through hell and then have to wait another 100 years for me to return up to heaven. Now, God and I love each other. It's just horrible what you've all done. Mm. Thank you, Mary. It should get a little easier once I beat the COVID, but I still have a lot of pain that I have to work out, or at least try to. Just hoping to beat this COVID soon enough and right, get back to something normal. See, what I'm figuring is, the way I see it again, Hashem hinting. I might, I hate being presumptuous, but when I get to, I had to cancel a couple, a podiatrist appointment, all sorts of stuff. But next week it's going to be like 40 degrees. I think that's when it happens. I think that's when I'm totally healed and I'm out of here. I hope so. I don't want to miss those days. Right? We have a couple days around 40 degrees. Right? I think it's like Thursday and Friday. That's when I think it's going to work. Right. Right. At least I hope. I tried to tell you this for years not to do what you're doing to me. And don't do it to other people. It's happening. Quit trying to play that game where I'm just a crazy maniac and nothing's actually happening. That's the scam. Anybody that they do it to is the crazy maniac. Oh, I guess you deserve to be yelled at. Again, it's better that you get yelled at by me and nothing than something much worse. Because as I'm yelling at you, somebody might hear that hasn't done it yet. Again, move on. Get out of that police department. The police department's doing it. Do something. Get out of there. It's not worth an eternity in hell. I know preachers that are going to hell, man, because they're part of the deep state. I didn't know what it was. I respected. I was just a naive person that respected him. 100%. But when I look back at what was done, they're going to hell, man. Somebody fooled me, dude. And you talking about FBI, CIA, just playing that game all day long. I'm thinking my rotator cuff is history. I mean, I'm not sure, but that's horrible. Because you wouldn't let me get uncramped. Y'all just blanked my mind out. You got cops stalking you. It does matter, all of you. You're all devils to begin with, and you're casting spells. We're not innocently driving around our communities. If I just could have got to massage therapy, but they were working me over. There's a whole program they use. They're sick, man. Involves online, offline, people breaking in the apartment, drugging the victim. So as soon as you wake up and get away from it, they start trying to drug you all over again. They're sicko pieces of shit. And they set this whole thing in motion. There's like no reason for it to exist. But they're sick. They're psychopathic killers, psychopathic sexualizers. They can't do anything else. They're just satisfied with life until they try to kill somebody and torture them for a lifetime. They pretend, oh, we were saving the community. We were protecting it. I'm hoping it works. I hope my body comes back together so I don't need any major surgery. Put you to sleep for 3 days. You got to remember, they're chasing me around, blocking me from moving in, blocking me from moving out, doing everything they can just to make it hell. I mean, every time they block me from moving in, you block somebody on you. You're not allowed to alter the course. So don't tell me that you didn't do this and you gave options. There's open that, and it's all bullshit. All of you. Every one of those blocks of housing is worth $1 million. Did you block my housing because you're a criminal piece of shit, and you were paid by other criminal pieces of shit to be that criminal piece of shit? How about that? Good enough? Thinking you're funny, projecting why did we do it? In fact, again, I told you the projection. Yeah, sealed. Whoa. Rawr. I told you, don't be projecting back at me when I'm speaking. Well, you and your families are cursed. Bottom line. Told you, already warned you a million times. Told you for the last 20 years, not 30 years, not to do it. Whether it's you or your daddy or your grandpa. Meanwhile, crooks living the life of Riley. Whatever they want. People having sex in the club with little girls aren't even old enough to be in the club. Let me drink. And they don't care, but they're saving us all from that. Right? Because over there they are. Lo, Christ is there. Lo, Christ is not over there. Lo, the pedophile is over there. No, the pedophile is not over there. Bunch of lunatics. Run by lunatics, staffed by lunatics, paid by lunatics, sex each other as lunatics, force sexuality on others as lunatics. Not a single one of you has a bit of shred of sanity within you. Not a bit, not a shred. And what am I doing? I'm running you straight into the ground. You'll be so effed off, you'll puke. Oh, we're heroes, oh. This is what it takes to be a hero. You have to be a lunatic. Oh, we answer 911 calls. Not when I need you to. I do admit the dispatcher was pretty let down. Because I don't know. He couldn't say anything, but he said a couple buzzwords. I don't know if he was a dispatcher or what he was, but he said, I think the fire guys can do that. Let me, he's like a Larry, you know. Oh, I think maybe we get the EMS to help you, buddy. But yeah, they did. They did block my credit. They've done it before. They went heavy on blocking everything. And Hashem, I don't know if it's going to be perfect, but Hashem says you got to go over to Apple. You got to get away from the from the Android. This is it. I know you want to save the money, but you can't. So I have to reconstruct all my finances when I'm done here too. I'll probably be giving some away to charity, but it's not like the same as before. It's just I just, I bought some things that, like, I bought two televisions to use. I might wait on giving those away, but I bought two televisions. And again, they're doing stuff to my mind, so I'll buy it. Again, it's not only my mind; it's what they're disrupting, and I can get past the disruption if I buy something. And it did work for a while. But you got to remember, you know, you're talking to me, a guy that really should be living in $1 million house, and you're crying about losing $1 million house, and I'm like, but I never got my like $5 house even. Right? You think I give a shit? Think I should give a shit? I mean, people out here, they don't say much because they get hit when they talk online. Somebody comes and hits them. Right? But they laughing. Yeah, keep it up. Keep it up. That's inside. That friction that you cause hating on the everyday person cause those homes to burn up. Now the funny part is like Elon's like, well, they liberals, right? California, right? Well, he don't get it. It's all of y'all. So you need to start doing what I tell you to do, and have the right mindset, and start paying the people you owe. Yeah, Elon owes me. I don't know how my information got to him, but him and his people owe me. 100%. Cash owes me. Trump owes me. In fact, Trump needs to repent for what happened to me. Correct. Again, I'm not talking about Trump, being WWE champion. I'm talking about Trump going to hell and not going to hell. So again, Trump is still teetering, I think, back and forth because psychologically, Trump doesn't comprehend a lot about God, but was led to believe that he did. I guess, kind of. Right. All I had to do was stop and let my life simmer down, and I could get my head wrapped around something. Well, people in Pacific Palisades do not have that. That does not happen to them in their life. That's how they're there. Their house doesn't just go poof. So you have to understand the metaphysics are changing. Well, the problem is when you begin to become militantly a militant rule on the outside, that the inside starts to pick up. Correct. You need to find money, and you need to start moving it in my direction. Enough of the games. It should be here tomorrow. There should be a courier knock on my door here, check from Mr. So and so, sign on a dotted line, have a great life. Another courier, knock, 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 knock. Check from Mrs. So and so, sign on dotted line, have a great life. What should have happened years ago. Correct. Okay, you'll be hearing stuff, but it's all bullshit. They're not. There's no real mea culpa going on in here. They're trying to figure out the next thing they can do. Yeah, these are like Harvey Weinstein operations, just by criminals, man. They just go off the deep end and attack people. The planet's probably decreasing. I don't know if the planet will go back up again. Again, if Trump wants to have a good presidency, then he'll take care of business the way he was supposed to do it the first time, and then God will bless his second presidency. Otherwise, you could have the worst president in the history of the world. Correct. Not here to play games, all of you. I was just biding my time until Trump got in here. I was trying to get myself back up. But at this point, I don't know if anything's worthwhile. I got 9 days, I guess. It's just not well for what's going on. I can't even I can't even lay down. Can't even lay down. One of their big plans: destroy my health all day long. I haven't been health, not for many years now. I've been disabled, severely disabled. Really, I just carry it well, and I keep moving because I got to stay healthy. So I got them to release my shoulders and my neck a little bit, but now my right arm is my rotator cuff is doing something funky. But again, I haven't gone through any type of corticosteroid treatment. I haven't had any, subsequent massage, a little bit of physical therapy. It might work. And then on my left hip, it's just screaming. I know there's a lot of damage there, and it didn't have to be so damaged. Again, if I'd have known I could have got uncramped, I would have. I don't even know what to do to my head. Again, what they're doing is taking somebody that spends, 2 to 3 2-hour segments of massage a month and wants to do that for life into somebody that can't even get to massage, can't even think to get to massage. They're devilish, man. And they're using CIA technology and KGB technology torture techniques and methods to play some fucking gruesome game for their sex cult that they call an agency, a department, a squad, a group. It's everywhere, man. It's filth. Even in the church, they play it in the church. They sexualize me in churches. Go in a church, a woman's trying to have sex with me to show that they're baiting me. They're like, I'm wrong if I act on it. And she's right, right? Because you're going to pay her what? $10,000, $20,000, give her a house. Maybe her and her family lives in Pacific Palisades. Maybe that's one of those houses that burned down. Got her to move out to Pacific Palisades with her family. And now the house burnt down. I'm supposed to go, boo, boo. Who cares, man? You all got $1 million homes, man. Who cares what happens to your home? You're all going to try to get the government to pay you for it, too. Just like you did probably to buy the thing to begin with. Don't you dare send our money to California and pay millionaires to rebuild a mansion. Don't you dare. Thank you, Larry. Probably already being sent out there. Just for a few donor dollars. A lot of them are donors. Ellen DeGeneres did the right thing. She got out of there. Right? I mean, it took a while. I mean, those floods and everything else. Mm. Oh, shit. They're going to try to get government funding for all that. Right? And next thing you know, we'll be paying. We're paying. We're probably paying for millionaires to stay in hotels. I bet you. I bet you, like FEMA's already putting them up in hotels. They're probably staying in like Hollywood or wherever hotel, really nice hotels. They're probably staying in real nice hotels. Millionaires at the government expense off of FEMA funds. I guarantee it. People have got endless bank accounts. But yet you couldn't increase my VA disability because the deep state said no. Right? But I bet you right now there's like $200 hotel rooms in California, $300 hotel rooms, and there's people related to FEMA and things like that, and those funds, and they got endless bank accounts. I guarantee it. Probably got houses in other communities too. They could just fly off to Hawaii and stay there for a while, or fly off to Florida and stay there for a while. 100%. Told you all to stop over and over and over again. Believe me, you're all going to hell. I don't care what your preacher says, because your preacher was a liar from the day your preacher was born as a devil on this planet to lie to everybody about how we're all going to really be going to heaven and saved because we're so wonderful and everybody else so evil. I really don't care for your bullshit preacher. I've heard tons of them in my lifetime. The people that your preacher condemns are the ones that are actually innocent and don't even have to worry about it. Because I get worried about my sin. And I'm just, I apologize. God says, and sometimes just the angels says, Larry, God told you. You're disabled. You're lucky to be as straight up as you are. 100%. They disabled you and they did it on purpose. They did it over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, any of them alive? Rick Henry's still alive? Johnny Hughes, he's still alive? Or they'd go off to hell already? They have nothing better to do than doing that kind of shit with their life and that kind of shit with their money, with the money. I mean, they went into my family life and destroyed my family life. Encouraged my wife to rebel against our peace deal at the end of the marriage. Same. We had it all worked out. And then we spoke about getting back together. They ruined that. I'm not living in the past, all of you. You're the ones that never let it move forward. If you'd let my life live, I wouldn't even be talking about it. Wouldn't talk about it at all. There would be no reason to. So don't act like I'm off base somehow. That'll just get you further into hell, all of you. So now I'm sitting here with COVID and all this pain. And it's all my fault, right? Because I set this emotion in my life. I set in motion to get massages 2 to 3 times a month in an honest establishment that I believed was an honest massage establishment. 100%. That's what I put into my life and what you tortured out of my life. God has not mocked all of you. There's no way out of hell for many of you. Well, stay peace.